breakfast clock. Oh, it broke.
It's broken? All right, Mal, need another one. We probably need a battery.
The battery fell out.
Sammy, I voted for you yesterday.
Thank you. Even though I'm pro-crime, did you see that piece he sent?
Oh, you're pro-crime?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Did I?
Jojo helped the Robert with the, machine. I got the machine already out. Go, get my, Robert, what do you need? Want the, Sam? I voted for you twice.
That's good.
I went twice.
You want to?
I went twice.
Oh, try to see the pen.
Even that I told
Sam, I get mail every day from Mr. Sam. Pictures, considering
Wow, look at that. We gotta get him a
Really, every-
Sprimal. We gotta get him a
I have a
Sprimal.
picture.
every day, but the other guy you also see.
Of course. He sent the piece pro-crime.
Okay.
Welcome to the world of politics.
That's right.
Yeah.
You can't take it, don't get
You're
it.
thin skinned, you're out.
You're pro illegal immigration?
No, crime, just crime.
Just crime? They give you you get a limousine, what kind of limousine you get?
Security, insane.
Everything, nice. You got a whole-
What is nice, you are not secure, would you like to have some security? Man?
The state doesn't give you a house and,
They give you a per diem to the hotel. Not the commute, just the hotel, meals.
how many days a year you have to be at Albany?
100.
Really, 100 days in Albany,
Wow,
that's a lot.
that's a commitment.
That is a good. Wow.
Will I be 100 days in
I heard he's
order?
making a,
Absolutely not,
no, I heard he's making a fortune.
unfortunately.
That's what I heard. I don't believe it.
You make food when you leave
Plus the-
office.
Plus the perks.
What was Sheldon Silver? He was the head of the Senate.
The assembly.
Assembly.
Assemblies. Bruno was the head of the
What's-
Senate.
Where but your voice?
Yeah, I just can't get rid of
Yeah,
it.
you don't
Where
sound
did you get?
I know.
Look at second, I paid
Seven
672 Parshat Yabo.
Good morning, Larry.
Boker Tov. Good morning, everybody.
Wow. He was one of the biggest crooks around. What?
They framed it.
Oh, come on. You really say that?
They freaked him.
It wasn't. He really was like nothing. They go after that. Like, you left this item off on your IRS bill and you go.
Nah. Now,
Maybe he knows a little more than you.
I remember him following him closely. And it was about time when they indicted him.
Yeah, before we started the parasha, since today's not Baomer, there's something interesting. It's it takes guys to say, but he said after they came out from the cave, they did the language of the Gemara.
Shabbat.
Okay, was.
The Gemara in Shabbat. After they came out, the Gemara said like this. Now walking back to the community, and they saw people carving, plowing, planting.
We're wasting their time.
So the Gemara says, Amar, Manichim Chaye Olam, Ve'oskim B'Chaye Shah. How can you spend time doing this mundane? Kol makom shenotnim einehem miyad misrach. Remember, this is after being 10 years in cave.
Back to the cave, Habibi, back to the cave.
יצתה בת קול, no, חוכמה היא יצתה בת קול, ואמרה להם להחריב עולמי, יצאתם, היו כמר, חזרו למערתכם.
Back to the table.
הדו, they went back, הותירו תריסה ירחי שעתה. Do you ever think why did they sit there for a month, for a year? Why that?
Another-
You went back for how long?
For 12 months.
Almost.
They want the call.
The חוכמה is to hear what the Gemara says, why? אמרה, משפט רשעים בגיהנם,
Mishpat Rishayim again.
Each one of us that said ever Kaddish on his father and his mother 12 months, they, Rabbi Shiva ben Yochai says on himself, obviously Min HaShamayim they are unhappy with us, and reading the Gemara. משפט רשעים בגיהנם, בבית חודש.
So they held that they were themselves.
They looked at themselves like a real people. They didn't fool themselves like we do. They said, obviously, he said 10 years and they tell us to go back, obviously.
We're gonna go like Kilo Henderson. So they gave them.
Correct.
Yeah. הזו לא היטיבו את רישה היה חשד. יצתה בת קול after a year, ואמרה צאו ממערתכם. נפקו, they went out, כל היכא דעה במחי רבי אלעזר was still very strong. Havemasi Rabbi Shimon fixed whatever he destroyed, and he says to his son, אמר לו בני די לעולם אני ואתה. So now we are here. But what is he saying here?
Yeah, wasn't he tight?
This is דבר עמוק מאוד. This is די לעולם אני ואתה. Then the Hadepanya de Ma'ali Shabta, Friday afternoon, and saw an old man going with the Hadassim and running.
Two Hadassim.
אמרו להני למה לך? Why? אמר להוא לכבוד שבת. They're asking him back, ותסגר לך בחד, why is it up? אחד כנגד זכור, אחד כנגד שמור. Amar Lebre, the father of Yeshua ben Yochai, is teaching his son, Kama Chavivin Mitzvah Israel. See, the question here is like this. Yeshua ben Yochai really is very consistent, because Yeshua ben Yochai says in Masechet Berachot, Shema Tov, מאוד מעניין. Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai in Masechet Berachot 35b, look at 35b, Larry. The Gemara says, לא יאמרו ספר התורה הזה מפיך, יכול דברים ככתבן, you have to sit and learn 18 hours a day. תלמוד לומר, ואספת בגניך, ינהג בהם מנהג דרכי דברי רבי ישמעאל. Bishmael says, no, the Torah says, Ve'asafta devanecha, you have to go to work every day. Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai, our same man, אומר, אפשר אדם חורש בשעת חרישה, וזורע בשעת זריעה, וקוצר בשעת קצירה. If you're busy plowing, planting, harvesting, there's no time. אלא, בזמן שישראל עושים רצונו של מקום, we are on a perfect level, מלאכתם נעשית על ידי אחרים, אמריקה is supporting us, the world is respecting us, שנאמר, בזמן שאין עושים רצונו של מקום, so you realize he is consistent, which means the first time when they came out of the cave, he's the same man, you realize this is Shabbat 33, this is Brachot 35. After a year, he changed his mind. Realize he's telling his son, we are not looking at the world the right way. Most of the world cannot live like us. So Daila Olam, me and you means are few that can choose what me and you preach. But the rest of the world, as long as you reach the Hadassim, as long as you reach your money, your furniture, your whatever you do to help others, this is a framework. And with that, the answer of an interesting question. The Gemara says in Menachot, that Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai says, even if you say Shema, Kriyat Shema, Arvit v'Shachrit, you fulfill the mitzvah. This is, by the way, recorded in the Shulchan Aruch. Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai, you are saying it. Here you're saying that 18 hours a day. The answer is, after he came out the extra year in jail, the real Gehenna, then he realizes, me and you, there are a few people like that, but the rest of the world cannot exist like that, as long as our priorities are.
Is there a fundamental machloket going on here as to where we are in the world? It's just a matter of whether we're good or not, or whether we're at a higher level or not. I thought there was a fundamental machloket here.
This last year I had a group that met, a special group from Flatbush. So they came approximately 6 or 7 times Saturday night, around for 2 hours. We come in, I mean, this is Saturday night in the winter, the nights are very long. I said, what do these people do? There was no seat I came early to secure a table. why are people coming instead of going to pizza or restaurant or the movies or the comedian? This is exactly what the Torah wants. The ideal is walk, but spend few hours. Really bad. If you're elected, I'm taking. You have to come. It's called Lakewood Bet Midrash, founded by those who went to Lakewood in the 60s, 70s. Everyone there is a businessman or professional. In the morning, you come till 10 o'clock in the morning, you get 15 people. You go to work and tell you.
Yeah.
You come in the evening, the same. This is really what Rabbi Shimon Ben Yochai at the beginning didn't think so. He says, well, if you have a choice between A and B, do it 18.
In other words, if you want you to study and somebody will support you, or the goyim will
But then he came out and he said the world cannot exist like that. More that he himself needed a year to realize if they told us go back
there's
for a year.
there's something wrong without thinking.
It takes a lot of guts to say, they mean me, not them. It's me, only me. Yeah? It's always easier. This is why I'm sure yeah, the book more, yeah.
Look, Rabbi Shimon Ben Yochai knew that before the 10
No,
years.
you can no, but
Before the 10 years,
we
before
know
the-
feel. It takes mature. Philosophically, we can argue from today till tomorrow. But in reality, he said, if you really want, then he said, obviously it's not so.
What's with the bonfires? So
What?
last night they called me up saying, come to the bells,
Should have
the
come.
bells
Ah,
bonfire.
Bells.
Bells?
Oh.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Every,
So I was gonna go, but then they said it's not starting till 11. What's your bedtime? Before 11. Oh, PM.
every
But a box.
the block was
Right.
closed.
No.
Thousands of people came. I mean,
80,000 in Kiryat Shora.
Wow.
80,000.
Where?
Kiryat Shora.
Scan was
Kiryat
full.
Shora, Monroe.
the Chidush, no, the Chidush
Well,
is.
this is a new manhag.
No.
Yes. That no Gemara, no Rishon, no.
In America,
1700.
in America it was not popular. In Israel,
Israel? My
Israel.
son told me last night. Unbelievable.
Not before
Body
1700.
was
That's what I was told. Is there any Rishon, anything?
no, it's Badaisha.
What's the?
No.
Do we had a rabbi?
Omer Kidati is the
I
same
come to
way that
class.
do you light a candle in the yard of your father? Of course. Me too, everyone. This is the candle. This is the
Oh, your side for
the bonfire is a candle, of the. No, but what's the idea? No, what's the idea? The idea. באמת החסידים, every חסיד lit a candle last night, no, זה ממש, no, but the point
Only
is,
Hasidim, Litvish doesn't do that. No, it's a new thing. It's a new thing.
But the point is, the same. When we go to visit the graves of our loved ones, and you know, מה באמת הפירוש? בסדר, עוד כל השטויות האלה.
Tell me.
But bottom line is, the Yom Shebel Adam is departing from the world, right? He's mashpia, he's able to mashpia things that he's not, but the day that he died, the day that Rabbi Shimon Yochai died, assuming he died that day, so there's a lot of mashpia goes in the world. The same as, I mean, you
I
read,
don't know, but they'll do it tomorrow.
what? Okay, but let's go now to the parasha. The parasha is 672. The idea באמת, by the non-Hasidim, you learn something from Rabbi Shimon Yochai. You just learn it. You learn the Gemara Shabbat, you learn the Gemara Brachot. But this is the real Rabbi Shimon Yochai, not but you see, it's exactly the same. You understand? You can make a big deal about the fire and this, or you can see it and learn a little bit of Gemara for sure. No, but you realize this is Rabbi Shimon Yochai before and after. It's the way you look at the person.
How did the Boyne Rebbe come? What's the tradition that they have managing the whole process?
Because hundreds of 180 years ago,
the first
he's
one.
the first one. So there's nothing in Boyan. He's asking why the Rebbe in Israel, in the big bonfire in Meron. Larry, you have the video. He has the video every year. Steve is there all the time. Because Boyan, his
Oh,
grandfather
that's the part.
was the first one, hundreds of years ago.
He called me once from there.
No,
I was in treatment.
Meron is the
Goes
most,
every year, see that.
Meron after the Kotel is the most visited place in Israel.
Yeah, it said that.
Unbelievable.
I went once. It was very nice.
Yeah.
Every time I go, I try to go.
You've been
This
there?
is a real place.
No, I meant I went during,
No,
Lag BaOmer.
I went during Lag BaOmer. I went during Lag BaOmer.
All year round.
And it was like,
The most visited site, not on Lag BaOmer, all year round. After the Kotel, this is the big one.
Wow.
yeah.
In
Like,
Europe, it's
how far from
Auschwitz.
Yerushalayim is it, Rabbi? I've been there
If
also.
you have a good driver, it's 2 hours. Today with the new hour.
That's the,
That's
that's
a
the
good-
most holy.
Not you're doing it.
Well,
Not
it's
only
most
visiting.
Well, you go to Safad, it's on the way to Safad, right? I know, I've been a number of times.
מה אתה מפריע? אנשים מפחדים היום קצת. קבר רחל זה סט.
Now they made it very comfortable for Kohanim.
Masada.
Now we have a whole area there. It's not like before. They made a nice building there, Rabbi. Now it's comfortable for Kohanim now.
Come here, let's go to the Chumash, 670.
672. Yes, that is it.
This is number one.
No, I'm not sure.
This is number
Yeah,
one.
we're not for sure.
This is the crowd. Look at the crowd. Talking about tens of thousands.
So now what did they do? They made it in a different, they made it in other areas, smaller or what? There's a problem, wasn't there? A lot of people died. But I'm saying since then, now they changed the process.
About hundreds of buses.
But it's not only there.
Let the rabbis start.
They're afraid of the missile. I mean,
Walking.
it's a perfect
Amazing.
target to last year they couldn't.
Your cousin.
See, the real question, look a second in the beginning of the parasha. A regular Kohen is not permitted to ever become Tameh to anyone except his 7 relatives, but the Kohen Gadol, even his 7 relatives. If you think about it, it's very difficult psychologically. You know, his father died, he's allowed to attend the funeral from far, but he cannot come to the cemetery, he cannot come to the funeral. It's really interesting. You see in Gemara Makor that when the Kohen Gadol dies, everyone is in the cloud. The Gemara says
Happy people.
that the Kohen Gadol, the mothers of the Kohanim Gedolim, used to support those in the Miklat to make sure they're not praying. So if a jerk in jail is praying, Kohen Gadol should die, how does it affect? The Gemara, this is not my Gemara is asking. Says the Gemara, it is the Kohen Gadol should have prayed that murder should not occur, which means really, if you think about it, the Kohen Gadol is connected to Am Yisrael. His heart is the heart of the Jewish people. Which means if you are avel on your father, you're showing that your father is more important than the shoemaker. But he is expected to feel for every Jew the same as he feels for his relative. I mean, by us it's a joke, but this is real. Yeah? The Relevant Rebbe, the original Relevant Rebbe of David, Ish Kadosh Mo. His son was very, very sick, and the Hasidim fasted, prayed, and Baruch Hashem was cured. He was cured, and they made a Seudat Oda'ah, and the Rebbe starts to cry. They told him, but why did you do it? Because it's my son. I don't sick people. How come you do? This is what the Torah expects from the Kohen Gadol.
You wanted to get to that point.
No, but real Kohen, we're talking about Kohen Gadol in the time of Beit HaMikdash, yes? Not in the time of the second temple. The first temple, yes? To the point, it's very, very interesting. Look a second at the Pasuk here. והכהן הגדול מאחיו. Look a second at 674. והכהן הגדול מאחיו. מה זה הגדול מאחיו? לא. אם כתוב הגדול, obviously הוא גדול. מה גדול is 6'2". Says the word on Ibishins. He brings the Gemara. The Gemara says Masechet Yoma that Martha Baitus was a very wealthy woman.
Yeah.
She was a widow, and she married a Kohen. A regular Kohen is permitted to marry a Now, what happened if a Kohen Gadol was married to a widow, then it becomes a Kohen Gadol? He was a regular Kohen.
Oh, the other way.
Mutar is mutar. She went, this is a Gemara, I looked last night. The Gemara says that she gave force of money to Yala Melech to appoint a husband to be Kohen Gadol. Yes.
Did he walk out alive?
What?
Did he walk out alive?
No, he was a fine man, but he would not be choice number one. So he says here, והכהן הגדול מאחיו, let the Kohanim elected, not the king, not the one who received the money. והכהן הגדול מאחיו, yes.
Is that the process, Rabbi, that it was chosen by the other Kohanim?
Is it inherited or is it appointed?
For instance, I'll give you an example. If you read the biography of many very poor people who became later the luminaries, Zalman Auerbach, Ovadia Yosef, every Friday they used to come to the house of the chief rabbi at the time, Ashkenazi, Herzl. This was they used to learn together 3 hours.
Wow.
Rabbi Yeshiva, the giants, each one of them later became.
Another giant.
When Rav Herzl agreed that the chief justices to the Rabbanut, he called Rav Yashiv, you become the chief justice. So people told me, you have to start from.
What's the process? Yeah.
It says,
He jumped the line.
I mean, you offered it from Zaman, of course. Chacham Ovadia right away became a dayan, b'li b'chilot b'klum. He says, so this is me'echav, you understand? Rav Herzl knew the shots by heart, back and forth. He knew who is
So
elected.
he actually became the chief justice in the secular courts?
No, not in the secular court,
This is
the rabbinic court.
Oh, the rabbinic.
And the Rabbanim don't have any power. The secular court. And the rabbinic. I'm saying this is והכהן הגדול, והכהן הגדול מאחיו.
All the good criteria for a Kohen Gadol don't apply to a Kohen who's married already. You know, let's say he's married to Be'ulah when she was mutad, or any of those things, a widow, he still can become Kohen Gadol. Even though if the Kohen, right, so even though the Kohen.
עכשיו תשמע, ראיתי this morning, ראיתי דבר חדש, הרמב"ם says, this is לשון הרמב"ם, מצוות עשה על כהן גדול שיישא בתורה. This is a strange language. He doesn't have a mitzvah to marry a virgin. He has a issue to marry a non-virgin.
Right.
Says Rabbi.
But if it gets very complicated, because it's an age which is not a bill, you know, there's a whole which is made up of it.
No, Zonah is only a woman that has a relationship with the man she cannot marry. Listen carefully what I'm saying before you say it in the comment. She can have 1,800 boyfriends. If they're all Jewish, she can marry a Kohen. She had one night with a relative that she cannot marry, or one night with a Kohen, then she's Zonah.
She can't be with Kohen.
I tell the kids, every year, I make believe that they hear it. Yes. If you marry a girl that became more religious later, she's the most wonderful girl. She went out of town college. If you are a Kohen, just it's a problem. No, you have to be open. You have to be open and ask.
Yes, it doesn't mean you get the right answer. That's all.
It's true.
If she went to Erdogan College, it's highly likely.
Why not? Today you have plenty of girls that.
That's like Ravasi.
What?
It's like Ravasi.
Yes.
We have the Machloket, Ravasi,
we had in Flatbush in the 80s, triplets, girls. 2 were identical twins.
Wow.
Tall, blonde, very athletic. One of them calls me 2 years after she graduated. She's in the Queens basketball team.
Queens College? Yeah.
She went to Queens College.
Yeah.
No, at that time, CUNY was better than, anyway, honors, CUNY honors. Anyway, she says we go to many basketballs upstate New York, and everyone in the team knows that they're religious. I mean, they respect it very much, but the boss always stops in a special place and they go to eat. Says normally I would stay in the bus, but I mean, you have to know the hick town in upstate New York. I can't be alone. She's bad man with
Maybe when the driver stays in the bus.
Is
or
it
something.
okay for her to go in? But everyone knows that she's not.
Not kosher
No, but
restaurant.
I mean, I was very touched by
Crushed by what
the
people
question,
see.
the question.
Nice.
What do you tell her?
Of course, yes. Listen to this. Look at this pasuk. Bat Kohen יתחל לזנות, את אביה היא מחברת, באש תשרף. You know this pasuk? If a daughter of a Kohen was engaged, I'm telling you now, לפי ההלכה, so מחלוקת, a daughter of a Kohen was engaged to be married as an affair, unlike a regular woman who would be punished death differently, she is by fire.
More
Regular,
respected of her?
like because of, and באמת, Shulchan Aruch says that even today,
Tamar.
Shulchan Aruch says that even today, but Tamar is a problem because she
Daughter
was
of Kohelet.
because Tamar is a single girl of a Kohen that has a relationship or affair, doesn't get any punishment. Why is she bad? Why is she bad? It's one of the questions you have.
She's considered single, I know there's.
No, but the punishment's not consistent for what she did.
All the Rishonim,
My
Rashi.
thoughts.
What he's
I take it up.
saying is Rashi. She says she's a descendant of Shem. And Shem is a
She's like a
Kohen. So
Kohen.
everyone is asking, "What is Shem?" Every single daughter, if Kohen Gadol, if he's single, she's single. She's not being. Okay, אבל כתוב בתורה, והוא כהן ככלליון, מלכיצדק מלך הוציא. Okay, so the Rashi somehow. Anyway, this is.
She was considered single?
What? She was.
No, but wasn't she waiting for?
A woman.
She was waiting for your boom.
Yes, that means she's fine.
That's not single.
The rabbi will explain it.
If a woman today or 1,000 years ago is waiting for a woman, she goes with another man, she gets 30 violations.
Right.
She has no strings to her husband. She's not engaged.
But isn't she tied to the brother? She's tied to the brother.
But she's not single.
Right. There's some, it's like.
Yeah, well, the third
She's
brother
tied
was
up,
underage.
she's tied up.
What's his
She's tied up. But the punishment, the burning.
Ike.
The burning.
Yes, Larry,
You have to go there and take care of your brothers.
it's amazing.
The burning for the
Okay.
punishment.
And you know whose fault it is? It's Mal's fault.
Yeah, that's
It's your fault now.
You realize.
Ike and Larry,
Hey, Mikey, where did Mikey come from?
Ike's in Zoom here,
Wait,
he's
this is.
trying to keep him calm.
I tried.
And easy.
You can't keep me calm.
Here, Ike, here's a Talmudic story. It's a good story.
Rabbi, you taught us the whole, we did this many times.
He also, but the problem is what stays in our
Yeah,
mind years later and makes us ask questions. Very often it's a סיפור פלא. This is a biblical figure that we all know, but in Gemara,
So Zika is not Arusa. It's not.
Zika is chayvei lavin. Any woman whose husband died and left her without kids, and she is waiting to be mityaben, but she has an affair with someone she got malchut. It's chayvei lavin, זה הכל. תשמע מה שכתוב, אי אפשר להאמין, אבל this is a pasuk, this is a quote from Navi. כה אמר השם צבאות אל אחאב בן קוליה, this is the name of a false prophet, ואל צדקיה בן מעשיה, אני באים לכם בשביל השקר, they are false prophets. And the Navi says, everyone is going to use you as an example what happens to people like you. What's the story, Tishma? I mean, they're brilliant people. They went to the daughter of Nebuchadnezzar. She was very attractive, very smart. One comes and says, I had a prophecy. She had a relationship with my friend. He didn't say with himself. And his friend comes to her. Have a relationship with my friend. Azul ברתן לנבוכדנצר, she was very smart. She went, your father, I have two Jewish prophets, two rabbis, big rabbis, Kabbalistic rabbis, tell me to. תשמע טוב, אמר לה, this is נבוכדנצר, this is the left. אלוהיהם שאלו זוני זימן. The Jewish God.
Doesn't go. It's
Prophecy to, תשמע, כי עטו לגבך, they come again to the offer, שדרינו לגביי, let me have,
Send them to me.
they come to him, אמר לו, who is the one? הקדוש ברוך הוא, not more not as God told us. אמר להם, והחנניה, מישאל ועזריה, שאלתי, I want to a few people. I told them that you gave an offer, ואמרו לי, אסור. אמרו לי, they are prophets, we're also prophets.
Let's test you out.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
He says to them, I tested them, I know that they are here.
That's fine.
We test you the same way.
No.
תשמע מה שהם אומרים. אמרו לי, but look how brilliant they are. They told him, they are three.
We're only two.
Give us
Three will
Daniel.
say, we are two. He says, pick any Jewish man you want to come with you into the fight. To the Kohen Gadol. Yeshua Kohen Gadol, this is תשמע. The Gemara says, Savre, they believe, Leiti Yoshua de la Fischute.
And he say them.
Right.
Anyway, they put him in they got burned right away. Yoshua Kohen Gadol, his garments.
Sage.
This is a pasuk in Tanakh. If you Parashat Ba'alotcha, this is after Rabbi Yareili, that Yoshua Kohen Gadol עומד לפני מלאך השם. תשמע. Says Nebuchadnezzar to him, Yadana de Tzaddik. It's obvious if you came out to the furnace, you are Tzaddik.
But
So he says, okay, he has to give an answer to a tyrant. He says, because of this too. I was there.
the damage because they have an association, guilty by association.
Says Nebuchadnezzar to him, okay, but Abraham, fine. Now the Gemara says, but what's the real reason?
What was the real abon of the Kohen Gadol?
Yeah, what did
His
we get
clothing got
Listen
singed.
to the Gemara. Because his children, לפי שהיו בניו, נושאים נשים שאינם עגולות לכהונה, ולא מיכה בהם. We spoke yesterday. His children married,
Not Asur.
no עגולות.
Not appropriate.
Not the most.
And he did not,
high class.
and he did not protest. This is the Gemara.
The protest.
Now go back to the pasuk. Go back to the pasuk.
Like Eli, like David, like.
Go back to the pasuk. The pasuk says the chida. This is the chida. Not me. Let's read again pasuk 10. Say, look at 10. 674 pasuk 10. ובת איש כהן כי תאכל לזנות. את אביה היא מחררת, באש תשרף, והכהן הגדול. says the chida, the reason why. והכהן הגדול is given, באש תשרף והכהן הגדול.
Him along with the
The
daughter.
Kohen Gadol, if his daughter is not so good, he is also being affected by her.
It's his
He
house
says this
also.
story in the Talmud, in Sanhedrin Tzadikim, are hinted in this. ככה.
We're moving the soft pasuk. You move
ככה
the
הוא
soft pasuk.
הוא אומר כי הגמרא הרבה פעמים דורשת סמוכים.
Yeah.
Why is this written? למשל, לא תחסום שור בגישו, the next pasuk is לא תלבש שעטנז צבע ופשתים. So the Gemara in Makot learns the only time you get Malkot on any Avera is a type of Avera like שעטנז, or if you put a Muslim, it's a lav שיש בו מעשה, לא ניתק לעשה, סמוכים, this is the type of the drasha. Now the question really is, look at this pasuk.
I don't see the word. So I don't. What does it mean? Kitechel is not. What is?
Who did they marry?
In other words, if she becomes zonah by having the relationship with the goy, she's not going to burn her.
This is not.
But
Bat Ish Kohen who is engaged to be married, and if she's not a Bat Kohen, she'll be killed anywhere.
Right,
If she's a bad Kohen, we raise the level of punishment. This is not a single girl.
right, okay.
But Ish Kohen who is engaged to be married, and according to Rabbi Eliezer, it's a machlok Rabbi
So you're gonna
Eliezer.
go, Rabbi Yosef, that the straight father is the highest,
Everyone.
was an engaged girl with.
According to
one
Rabbi
weekend.
Shimon, Srefa is the highest, and Yelam is and according to Chachamim, it's Skila.
Right,
So she gets the second one, which is Srefa instead of Chel.
except for on an engaged girl. I just remember.
A Jewish girl who is engaged to be married, she has an affair, Chel. But if she's the daughter of a Kohen, she raise the level to
Right.
Srefa.
And if they're married in Sikila,
If
it's
it's a marriage, Chel.
Hispanic.
Every woman is engaged to be married. That's a bigger
Higher
punishment than marriage.
Ah.
You didn't touch your husband yet in the wedding.
He's engaged.
Says the Chizkuni. Chizkuni said. Look a second at the same page 674. Look at Pasuk Yud. דבר אל אהרון לאמור, איש מזרעך לדורותיו, אשר יהיה בו מום, לא יקרב להקריב לחם אלוקיו. The Kohen who is handicapped, the Kohen who is missing a hand, a finger, cannot do avodah bebet hamikdash, right? The question is, in today's day and age, you cannot sell it. You cannot sell it. On the contrary, you should really feel bad for them. Let me ask you, now it's a serious question. Did you ever go to a liberal wedding and all the waiters were handicapped? The homeless? No, we really have to care to the homeless. No? So take the image.
Where's your waiters?
Answer is everyone wants an affair. Everyone understands that part of the beauty is the flowers, the decor, the dresses. Says the Torah, be'emet, be'emet, of course we should take them. And Kohen Ba'almum gets a share in the Korban as regular. He comes to Beit HaMikdash as regular. He's obligated to be the regular. But
Can't do public service.
the public service, because when people come, remember the Kohen is a shaliach of the person, yes? And we are human, we are impressed for what we ככה מסביר ספר החינוך. מאוד יפה, שומע זאת אומרת זה לא, on the contrary, we would have done it, but it says, in the eyes of the people, when you do something, think about it, זה דבר עמוק מאוד מאוד, כן?
Ronnie, did you ever hear when, it's a sheket, but did you ever hear when you're young that Kohen wants to marry,
They make a move.
they make a boom on themselves, yeah.
I was afraid to bring it up now.
I know, but I heard it when I was a kid, and I know it's not true, it's sheket, but I was really, I'm the only one who heard it. I heard it.
Here's the point. You know what Eli says now? Let's say the Kohen on purpose is in love with a girl, the couch is finger chalas. Happened to know a dentist. Who's a dentist, very successful, but became crazy because of it.
Yeah.
Basically, he went and he made it on purpose, and he got $10 million till the rest of his life. He didn't have to work as a dentist. He was in shul.
Oh, yeah, this
He got $10 million.
disability.
Disability.
Disability insurance?
Some of them are very big.
You like
houses
listen,
and dentists.
you like listen carefully.
Somehow that doesn't feel
Listen
right.
carefully.
No, it's stealing.
Boy, it's the same.
You're like a Kohen that has a moon cannot marry a divorcee.
Right, no, I know.
You know what?
I know that.
Can I marry a divorcee?
You understand?
You
He's
still can't
saying,
marry.
I wasn't saying it, I was just asking
he's
if you heard it.
saying, Kohen and moon, even though he cannot do avodah, he's a regular Kohen. He cannot marry.
Let's assume he was born that way. Even then, he still can't marry a divorcee. He's born that way.
Kohen,
That's
but-
self-inflicted.
And the reason is 100%
He's still a
Kohen.
Kohen.
We give him truma, he has to come to Beit HaMikdash, he's sharing the regular daily קורבנות. עכשיו לא, תשמע, יש פה שאלה מאוד יפה. Look now.
No, I heard it. Every Kohen, every Kohen heard
The guy told me he was gonna do it because he wanted to love this girl. She left him at the altar. She married somebody else. He prayed that the guy's husband should die.
And he can marry her.
They can marry her. Because of the divorce, then she got divorced, or the guy died, and he was gonna cut off his finger. And the guy is brilliant.
We've had Kohanim that marry
The
divorcees.
story
Yeah.
just said that happened or not, but
I know the guy.
תקשיב. This fellow did what he did based on the Chizkuni. The Chizkuni 700 years ago, you can look at it. He says in this week's parasha, why can't the Kohen Gadol marry a widow?
Yeah.
Kirush,
Oh, widow, what's
Oh,
wrong?
well, yeah, because it's
Well,
a regular
sure.
Kohen Kamer.
הוא אומר, we are afraid that the Kohen Gadol will fall in love with a woman and he would pray בקודש הקודשים. This is where this crazy guy took his
Oh my
idea.
God.
He had this interpretation, but ככה בחזקולי, זה פרק, כן. כהן גדול goes into קודש הקודשים, יואב, ככה הוא
That's why
אומר.
he can't marry
A
a widow.
widow,
That's a great one.
because we are afraid that he would make.
He will pray.
If you look at this interpretation in the right way, the biggest man and the biggest day of the year, in the biggest place in Jewish history is Kodesh HaKodashim. If you're attracted to a woman, you're blind. Madam Sugar, the husband Sugar, answer is you're not in control. You're not in
So my
control.
brother Harold has a story.
And it's true.
It's
So
true.
the guy goes to cemetery, sees a guy crying over a grave. Why did you die? Why did you die? It must be your best friend. It was my wife's first husband.
Take the Rambam, take the Rambam, we have only four, so we have to share it. Then you realize.
He said it was a true story.
But you can hear that this is a real story. Open Rambam Sefer Madad. Sefer Madad, הלכות יסודי
I gave you
התורה.
a kitzur, I gave you a short version.
הלכות יסודי התורה, פרק ה'. אמר לי,
Comedians convention, they 73, they all laugh. 82, they all laugh.
יסודי התורה is the first topic that the Rambam discusses in his book. And the Rambam, I mean, this is the פרק. פרק ה' is the פרק about this week's parasha. אלה המצוות אשר יעשה האדם בחי בה ונקדשתי בתוך בני ישראל, okay? So let's see how פרק ה' begins, then we're going to specific הלכה. פרק ה' begins, יסודי התורה, you have it? כל בית ישראל מצווים על קידוש השם הגדול הזה, שנאמר this week's פרשה, ונקדשתי בתוך בני ישראל. ומוזהרים שלא לחללו, שנאמר ולא תחללו את שם קודשי. So everyone in our communities is raised on this interesting stuff. That's how the Rambam described a real Kiddush Hashem or the opposite. So the Rambam said what we I mean, the entire chapter is a fascinating chapter. Look now, Semi Halacha Yud. Perek Hei, Larry, Perek Hei, Halacha Yud בסודי התורה. Listen good to the Rambam. כל העובר מדעתו ללא אונס, a man is performing an עבירה, not by duress, בשעת נפש להכעיס, תשמע טוב ושומע. A man says, I know that this is אסור, I'm taking it anyway. בשעת נפש means it's nothing, like שמע טוב, הרי זה מחלל את השם. Listen good to the Rambam. You're eating, you're going to eat dinner. In your house, there are no 10 people around, it's you. And you're saying, I'm choosing to eat this because you don't believe in anything. Says the Rambam, which חילול השם? Listen. לפיכך, נאמר בשבועת שקר, וחיללת את שם אלוקיך, אני השם. No one is going to swear in the name of his father, false father's name. Now, ואם עבר בעשרה בישראל, הרי זה חילל את השם ברבים. I mean, we all know people like this. In Europe, yes, those who really became not religious on purpose used to. There's very famous, the Rabbi of Ukvar on Pesach, the store was open, the guy says to the Rabbi, here, this is Pesach, here, this is Chametz, I really just told you. וכן, here's the חידוש of the Rambam, נשמע סגת, זה דבר עמוק מאוד. This is a Rambam unknown, because it's a Halacha Yud. וכן, כל הפורש מעבירה, we're not doing an עבירה, או עשה מצווה, לא מפני דבר בעולם, for no other reason, לא פחד, not because you're afraid, ולא יראה, ולא לבקש כבוד. I'm doing what I'm doing not because of pictures, not because people praise me, אלא מפני הבורא ברוך הוא. Look at the example.
שגיאת יוסף.
Unbelievable. זה example. כמניעת יוסף הצדיק עצמו מאשת רבו, הרי זה מקדש את השם. It's calling the Rambam. The epitome of Kiddush Hashem is that you're not doing or doing something because Hashem said it. How does the Rambam know it? Because Yosef says to her, איך אעשה הדבר הגדול הזה וחטאתי לאלוקים. So Kiddush Hashem begins at me and you, not in public, which is of course public, but in our day-to-day, am I doing it? I mean, if you look at today's, the religious newspaper, hundreds of pictures every week, this. Shy away from, okay, you have your choice, but shy away from performing anything good in public, because then, in fact, see, many seminars today, I'm using an example, sure. 2 days ago, a pregnant woman was killed.
Yeah.
The husband's father was teaching by us. I have to know this guy. So right away, the media wants us. I mean, he has a statement already. Thank God that my other children in the car, nothing happened to them. Thank God nothing happened to me. The family to force each one to give takes right away from certain things you have to keep feelings and emotions. The media right away. And in front of the camera, you make bombastic, sometimes religious, so that's the opposite statement. But this is the Rambam here. Meniat Yosef HaTzadik says the Rambam is an example of pure Kiddush Hashem. And have a wonderful Shabbat. No, take it down. All of them are the berachot. You can take 4 downstairs.
I was having dinner last night, a couple of people last night. What is the state? Because you got federal, the state is assembly.
Go ask me if you got the picture.
Yes, I did. It was beautiful. I wrote back to her. Yes.
We're so happy to see them.
It was beautiful. It was just nice. איזה משפחה יפה, באמת, משפחה, רואים את זה על הפרצוף. It's amazing.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom. Hi, this is Rabbi Pro.
Yeah.